I'm Corey.
Hi, I'm Tess.
Welcome to A Lovely Place.
We're so glad you've joined us as we invite Jesus into the midst of our lives, learning, and laughter.
We hope this podcast can encourage your heart and make you smile today.
Hello, my friend Corey.
Hello, my friend Tess. So good to chat with you today.
I know. This is an exciting time. We are back at the table that everything started at.
Yes. AKA my dining room table.
As you may have noticed, listeners, we've had a little bit of a hiatus for a while because life has been a little crazy, but we are still here.
Yeah.
We're still at it.
I feel like, we haven't recorded, and it's just been a little time since we haven't recorded. And then we looked at the calendar, and I was like, it's been a little while.
Yes. So now I am visiting in Spokane, and we
even had to reschedule that too.
Right?
Like it took time to get here, and thanks for driving here.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. So we are back where we first started, and that is just fun.
Episode 68.
Oh my goodness. And I was looking back at our books, and this is our 9th book that we've talked about so far. So that feels exciting. It's a very good book. We are in the midst of Atomic Habits by James Clear. And I was reflecting earlier that I think this is the book I feel like I'm maybe living out the least because my habits have been horrible during this time.
Yes, I feel that way too. Like, am I changing anything? How slow am I going toward a new,
right?
Yeah.
But I think that also comes down to life has been a little stressful lately. So, and I think that unless habits are well established, it's hard to like create new habits when you're stressed out.
Yeah. But
So
I think in
go.
previous chapters it talks about listing what your current habits are. So I've been trying to pay attention to what those are, so then you can habit stack, because that was before. So
Yes.
something's getting into my
sticking.
brain and coming a little bit farther. And I'm like, okay, this is going to work.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
And it was good to I like this first chapter. Walk slowly, but never backward.
Right?
And sometimes if Riker is trying to do something I ask him to, he starts walking really slow.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's what I do sometimes
It's
when
true.
I don't want to do whatever I said.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this principle that what does he call
The
them?
law.
The third law is make it easy. And so the first 3 laws are about starting the habit, right? Like the 4th law will be about making a habit stick, like what helps it to keep happening.
Yeah.
But these chapters are about what's the best way to get started on a habit. And I think the first story that he talks about really stood out to me with, he was talking about a professor that had photography students or film photography students. And he had one group of students who were signed up like to be graded or, were the group that were graded on the quantity of photos that they did. And then the other group was graded on the quality of one photo. And that just really stood out to me. So basically, they only did one photo for the whole semester, where the other group was trying to just take as many photos as they possibly could. And the group that took as many as possible was the group that produced the best photo out of the whole semester, which
Wasn't
I'm like,
so much pressure on one thing.
Yeah. And that really stood out to me that like repetition matters when we're doing much of anything, or anything worthwhile. Like repetition matters. And then also that like perfectionism will rob us of like valuable experiences. Where if you are just sitting and wondering like, how am I going to make this the best that it could be, and like, but not actually doing it or practicing it,
Yeah.
then you will end up not having the experiences that you would if you just went for it, and maybe failed, or had a few stumbles, but still went for it.
Yeah.
I think that's something I struggle with a lot, is like wanting something to be perfect before I
do it. Yeah. And it's like, no, I feel like, and Stefan, I think, has that on his wall somewhere. Perfect is the enemy of good.
Oh, the quote from Voltaire.
Yeah. Like, I just thought, so that's been coming around our house the last year, I think, just trying to think of that. Like, what am I trying to do perfectly? And is it actually an expectation? And then it's like, not usually.
Right.
From anybody
or
in
like
the whole
who
world.
cares if it's perfect?
Doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to care. Because then I'm
Good.
like, oh. And I really liked that the repetitions of doing something new is the key. The practicing it, actually doing it. And so
Right.
then it's like, it's not your plan that you make up or your whatever. It's actually walking. Like,
Right.
I could plan all I want about walking, have shoes and an outfit and a path. But if I don't actually step out the door, then I'm not practicing walking.
Right.
I'm only planning walking.
Yes. Yeah, and
So
he
I'm like,
talks he talks about the difference between motion and action. That like motion is that like planning, strategizing, like
Yeah.
figuring things out, thinking about it. But the action is what actually like gets the results.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're just doing a lot of motion but not any action, like you're not going to get anywhere.
No.
It's
And
just
it's
like
like-
swinging your arms around
Yeah.
versus like
Sometimes I feel like, how many journals can I have that's supposed to help me with the action? And it's like, no, this is taking too much time. I got to go and do something. Like, I was like, not that you can't write down what you're going to have for dinner or whatever, but it's like, I just need to start cooking dinner.
right.
Like, just, I don't,
Or
just,
go to the store.
yeah,
I hate
yeah.
going to the
So
store.
it's like, I was trying to figure out where I was getting hung up on what was I actually trying to do? And then, is this making any sense? Or like, am I making it harder? Because that's this whole thing, is make it easy, right? Like
Right.
the least effort. And one of the things in our homeschooling room, which is here in the dining room, is earlier in this year, January, I started watercoloring and I've really enjoyed it. And then it was like the shelf where it stayed got so messy and that it wasn't enjoyable to try to find the watercolor things to put it out. So then I was like, all right, I need to time out here and let's move out the other stuff that's in the way of doing that. I have yet to still paint because refer back to our introduction of how busy life has been this spring. And I feel like that's been the common story with everyone I've talked to, has felt
Yes.
the pressure of the busyness, which I'm like, I don't want to wish my life away either. So then it's like, okay, what is the real point of each day? Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
miss life because I'm busy. But then it's like,
Right.
well, what? So I just feel like I'm trying to figure a lot of things out, and I'll go back to the watercolor story because this is getting too big. But I put it on the shelf here. You
Oh,
can
don't
see
turn.
it in the. Oh, don't turn. Shh. Anyways, making it easier to get to it.
Yes.
Because if there's a bunch of other stuff, then I can't. So
right.
Make-
Because if you decide you want to do it, but it takes you 15 minutes to get it out, you might not have enough time to actually do it then.
yes.
So make it easy.
Yeah. And then one of
That's
my
good.
new habits that I want to implement sooner than later is not just cleaning the dishes at night, but cleaning off the table.
That's good.
Because this table is homeschool tables, Bible study table. Right now it's podcast table, game table. It has a lot of roles.
A lot happens at the table,
It does.
the dining room table
Yeah.
with families. It's pretty cool.
It is. And I don't want to. But, anyways, that's my new habit at some point.
That's
gonna
good. Well, and that's kind of
work on.
part of what he had talked about too in this chapter is like, what was it called? Priming the environment.
Yeah.
Where like one person that he was talking about, like every time he finishes watching TV or something, he moves the remote back to where it should be, fixes the pillow, whatever it is. That when you finish an activity, you prep the environment for the next time that you're going to do that activity because it makes it easier to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then also using that same principle, you could make it harder for you to do bad habits, you know?
Right.
So then you're least
Wasn't
like,
one
less
guy
likely to do them.
unplugging his TV or something?
Yeah, he was saying like if you're trying to watch less TV, you can hide the remote somewhere where it's inconvenient to go grab it, or you could even unplug it after you watch it, or you could even unplug it and put it in a closet. And then you could make it so you have to know, like you have to say out loud what you want to watch before you go to get it. You know, just something that like makes it where it's hard to do something unintentionally.
Yeah.
Because that's what habits are. You do them without thought. Like you just do them on autopilot.
Yeah. It is my
but
habit.
to make it so that you can't do it on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like you have to be intentional about it, which that's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
But a lot. Like I'm just thinking of my phone and how very easily it is to go down lots of different places with my phone. So even if I said I'm not going to watch anything on my phone and I'm going to watch it on the TV, it means I have to go downstairs.
Yeah. That's good.
Which is not really that complicated, right? When I say
it's
it out
that
loud,
much of a
it's like,
hindrance
oh my
or
word.
an obstacle.
Yeah.
It makes it that much more inconvenient to do it.
My life is really terrible, y'all, if I have to walk downstairs to watch TV.
I was actually considering the other day, I was like, what if we canceled our internet service
Ooh.
to save money and to help with our habits of like media consumption and canceled all of our streaming services so that we would have to go to the library to get like a DVD if we want to watch a movie.
Oh.
And to use the internet. I was like, how much time and money would I reclaim in my life? I was considering that. My family, I think they wanted to stone me, but
My eyebrows are raised really high right now.
I was like, Although that would make it really hard to record our podcast if I didn't have internet.
I could understand I understand the sentiment that you're getting at. That's what you're saying.
Yes. I've been feeling so much like some of these things that we do just rob so much of our time and we don't really even realize that it's happening. And then to get to the end of the day and it's like, did I have any meaningful moments with the like people in my life, or was it just kind of like zombie land, you know? Like, yeah.
Yeah. I heard something about even making eye contact with people.
Right?
Like you're just...
One of my children really hates eye contact, but yes.
But just
it's a good thing.
The concept of not going so fast you're not even looking at people. Like that was just on that. So this is make it easy is what we want to do for the habits we want. Make it hard is the habits we don't want. Like I like that both and situation.
Yeah.
And one of the things they were talking about was removing the bend in the hose to make it easier. So then gardening has been a thing. So then at our house, we have a front little yard place. And then there's the previous owner had a spot that looked like a garden thing, but I used some of the dirt for something else and then another thing. And then the sprinklers don't get on the other part. So my friend Joy that's here in Spokane wanted to give me some tomatoes and cucumbers. And I was excited because I like both of those. And as I was looking around the yard to try to find where I would put them, then it was getting all kinds of complicated. And I'm just like, okay, this is going to be new for me. I need to make it as easy as possible for these plants to live. So then I'm like, they can be vegetables and flowers right by our front door. The sprinkler sprinkles them, waters them. That's what that's called. And then the cucumbers are in the thing right by the front door. And Joy was sweet. And she brought those where you put the glass bottle upside down and there's a terracotta pot thing in there. Maybe that was one of the things for the other thing I was thinking of. Anyways, that's a different thing, but making it easy. So then all I have to do is go outside and turn the hose on and turn it back on to water extra for the cucumbers. And then just to make sure the tomatoes are getting enough water.
That's good.
I removed lots of obstacles to be able to grow tomatoes and cucumbers.
Yes. Which fits in with the person that you want to be, right? Someone who eats fresh veggies from your own garden.
And
That's
starting
exciting.
to grow them.
Yeah.
And then when I chop other vegetables, I think about composting, but I can't do that yet.
One step at a time.
I was like, wait, not easy. I don't have, okay, wait, time out.
Yeah.
Did you water the cucumbers? Okay, let's try that. So, and I was really nervous to start it because I didn't want to fail. And then Joy was really sweet and she was like, you could do this. It's a plant. Like, just needs water. She's like thinking it's really easy because she's done this a lot and I haven't.
Yeah.
So it felt really hard to me, but it was also
liberating.
Yes. And just like you said, voting for which identity are you wanting to be?
Yes, exactly. That's good. I love what he talks about in I don't know if it's in this chapter, but just about like that habits are things that you do without thinking, right? Like I think he was saying that 40 to 50% of everything that all the actions that we take in a day are by habit, like without thinking about it. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
But I love what he says, like you want to like automate your habits so that you're not spending so much time thinking about the things that you have to do every day anyway, or that you want to be doing every day anyway. So you can focus on the important things. Like you can use your brain to focus on good, important things.
Yes.
Like, you know, it was making me think that, like, goodness, like getting ready for the day in the morning, that has just been killing me lately, especially, you know, we're recording right now. It's right after the end of school. And so like getting ready for school in the mornings, getting the kids ready. I don't go to school, but getting them ready for school, like getting myself ready for on the days that I have work and like that kind of thing. And it just made me think that if we have good habits in place, like then when life is stressful, you can kind of fall back onto those habits to keep you grounded and like, okay, even though other things are stressful, these things are mindless. Like we don't have to get so hyped up to be able to do them. It just kind of happens on its own. And it can carry you through the stressful times instead of compounding and like making the stress way more stressful if you don't have a habit and you're just like,
What's going on?
running around like a crazy person.
Well, and that makes me think again about Kendra Dachi's book. What's it called? Lazy Genius Way. Yeah. And that just the different, I think of her often.
Right?
with what, and usually like, especially the night before, right? How that affects the morning.
Yes.
What did you prepare?
Yes.
And it sounds very simple, but it's a good habit to try to do. And I try to do that for Saturday nights. So then Sunday morning, everybody has what they need to get out the door.
That's a good idea.
And I was even thinking maybe I should just put it in the car.
Oh, yeah.
Because here we are with the stairs. But it just feels like we try not to have shoes in the house. So then if you forget something and you're running upstairs, then it's like I have to get all these pieces down the stairs.
Okay.
At night.
Yeah.
So if I did that before, so maybe, thanks friends, you're helping me live my life.
Well, and this is environment design, which is one of the things that he had talked about, like making your environment so that it's easier for you to do the habits that you want to do. And it reminded me of Dawn the Minimal Mom when she talks about like drawers or things, like putting things away, that if something is, you have to make it so it's easier to put it away than it is to leave it out. And I always think about that in my bathroom because sometimes my bathroom counter gets a little clogged up.
Yeah.
But so that's environment design, like making it easier to do the things that you need to do. Yeah. I keep trying to figure out how to make it easier for my children to put their shoes away in our house. I don't know what it is, but that drives me absolutely bonkers.
Did you try the garage?
Shoes are everywhere. We haven't tried that yet. We need to like empty stuff out of our garage. So I think we're going to start rearranging things a little bit. But like we have a shoe cabinet. It's real easy for me to put my shoes away, but for some reason they're like shoes everywhere. Like, take them off who knows where. Now
Do
I
they
can't
need a
find
shoe
them.
basket then? Like it's a visual
know.
thing. They need to see them.
Maybe.
I don't know. We don't
They're
have to
It's
fix
just
everything.
crazy. It's like they're just put them in the same spot every time, and then you'll be able to find them every time. It's like
What
magic.
is this? What is this you're talking about?
Instead of having no idea where they are anytime.
Yeah.
Drives me crazy.
I think I remember my mom saying they had to have a pathway to their bed to the door, and they had to have their shoes before the night before. So then school was.
Oh, that's a good
they
idea.
could get through their toys, find their shoes, and go to school.
That's a good idea.
I think, and then for a while, when Riker was littler, I actually just put the socks down by the door and his shoes. I think that, I don't know if that was a Don't Mom Alone thing
that's a
or
good idea,
Kendra
too.
Adachi that just was like, the socks and shoes are right there together.
Yeah.
Why do they have to be in your bedroom? I don't know.
Right? They don't have to be.
No.
You get to make up the rules.
Yeah.
It's your house.
You get to put your socks where you want to, friends.
Yes. So I loved so he goes a little bit into like lean production, which I learned about at one of my jobs is Kaizen. It's like a Japanese thing, but he calls it addition by subtraction, that you like add to your life by removing things from your life. And it just made me think of that at our old house, that season when you and I were working a lot on decluttering things, and I had decluttered a lot of my house, and it got to the point where it was almost like, I don't know about what else to declutter. Like it had gotten to the point where it was very lean in the house. And I remember this season of like something would come up, like a bill or a decision or some paperwork or something, and I would just immediately do it because my mental to-do list was like so much smaller because my stuff had gotten decluttered. Like it wasn't taking up that mental to-do list anymore. And it created this like momentum where it was like, you know, sometimes now when my mental to-do list is a little bit longer, I get decision fatigue, and then I'm like, I don't want to fill out that piece of paperwork or submit that thing or sign up for this thing because I'm just like, I'm done, you know? So,
I'm going to have a time out.
right.
And I'm going to participate in the bad habit of eating something that I probably shouldn't be. Oh,
Is there a reason that they put crazy people into rooms that are white with very little furnishings?
does that calm everybody down?
Right? It's
Cortisol
like,
levels come down.
ooh.
Yeah. It's like, what? And then did we already say about 2 minutes? Make it so simple it's 2 minutes.
No, we haven't talked about that one yet.
I liked that part. Like make it so simple that you can do whatever your new habit is in 2 minutes.
Yeah, was that the one with the story of the lady who would go to the gym every morning, but the habit started by her getting in the taxi cab or something?
Oh, that was one
I
of
think
them.
that
And
was
then
it.
there was another person that just had to walk in the gym and they could leave right away. Like I don't remember what
That was just to
was
get
just
the habit
started.
started,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, was...
I still find that one
Yeah.
fun. All you have to do is put your shoes on and walk in the door. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like, so that I think is the whole thing of that 2 minute rule. Like it's tricking you, but it's
Right.
not, because I think she was like, what? I can't just get in the taxi or, you know, like,
Yeah.
or whatever it was. I don't remember.
So it was almost like, it makes me think of like an avalanche or something, right? Like the cue or the thing that starts it is small, and then it turns into
Yeah.
the bigger habit itself, you know, but like to make it so that whatever gets you moving in the direction of that habit is just such an easy thing, like a 2 minute thing.
Yeah. Well, and then trying to help Riker build good habits of dental hygiene. It's like
That one's hard.
it's a thing. So then it was like, well, we were having toothbrushing parties together. So we were both brushing our teeth at bed and flossing. And so then make it simple. Or maybe that's the next, don't talk about that yet, but have the little flossers in the thing. And then,
No, I think that's part of make it easy.
yeah,
Or
but
make
it
it
was
visible?
making it enjoyable. It was satisfying
Oh,
because I
okay.
was like, didn't like the dental floss everywhere. So I like those little,
Oh.
what are they called? Little
Flossers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flossers. So then it
That's
makes
funny.
it
I'm
easy.
the opposite. I hate
Oh,
flossers.
well,
They don't like, I think I have weird shaped grooves in my teeth. Because
Oh.
sometimes even when the people at the dentist floss my teeth, they're like, man, it's really hard to get in there. And then it's like,
Oh.
oh, it's stuck.
Oh.
And I'm like, let me do it, please. Because if I have the big
Right.
string of floss, I can just do it great. But if it's a
Nice.
flosser, it's like, it doesn't allow for angles because it's just straight.
Okay.
And then it gets stuck.
Well, I'm glad there's both options for us, friends. And but doing it together has also helped Riker.
Yes.
And then I was like saying, one day, buddy, you're going to remember, because I always ask him, okay, did you brush and did you floss? Because sometimes I think we're just like, go brush your teeth and get jammies on. And it's like,
Yes.
could you go floss? Maybe I should just say that. Go floss your teeth and get
And
your
then he'll
jammies
just
on.
brush anyway.
Yeah. So that's a habit. But just doing it together was helpful. And then that
Yeah.
was also making me do it right then. So then
you wouldn't get too tired and not want to do it. Because I do
Right.
that sometimes. Where I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
just so tired. I need to get into bed.
or going back to the kitchen, and because Riker goes to bed at
Oh.
8, and that's way. 7 o'clock. In my head is my dreamland of don't eat after 7, but don't eat after 8 for sure. And then sometimes I'm just like, rah! So,
it
but
helps
minty
your
fresh
nighttime
clean is a
snacking.
good habit. So I guess we can learn how to stack something, but.
That's good.
That, I guess you're supposed to brush your teeth for 2 minutes and it would take a little bit longer, but sentiment is still there.
Oh my goodness.
Make it simple. They're on the counter. Whatever kind of dental floss you like.
There. Yes. Oh my goodness. Well, you want to read our verse for today? I think it applies well with what we're talking about and
Yes.
stacking our habits so we can live the lives we want to live.
Mm-hmm. And this is in Colossians, and I was teasing with Tess. I didn't know which verses to start because Apostle Paul likes to talk a lot. So you can read the whole chapter if you'd like to. But I'm going to just jump into verse 10. Well,
Of
maybe
Colossians 1.
Oh, thank you. You guys can't see the Bible? It's a large print. Anyways. And we pray this in order that you may live a life worthy of... Oh, wait. See, it's not large enough. That you may
Hold
live
it
a
up.
life worthy of the Lord, and that you may please him in every way, bearing fruit in every good work, growing in the knowledge of God. Was I going to read the other parts?
I
Or
don't
no?
know.
Being strengthened, I
Oh.
like that too, with all the power according to his glorious might, that you may have a great endurance and patience and joyfully giving thanks. And it keeps going again. But I just love this picture of a life worthy of the Lord. And then every good way we're doing it. Like our habits are the way that we're living. And are we focusing on what the Lord has us for that day? And those days that I do focus on what God has for me start off a little bit different than days where I'm just like jumping in the deep end of the pool and just like, "Wow, we gotta go. We gotta."
Right?
Not that anyone knows what that's like, but I just like that.
Yeah.
The life worthy of the Lord.
That's good.
So I'm encouraged to keep building good habits.
Yes.
And it's like a switch, though, not like I need to be perfect. But
Right.
It's like I get to live with Jesus.
Yeah. And we can build, like, it just makes me think that we're the architect of our lives. Like, we get to decide how we want to design them.
Mm-hmm.
Even though God made us, we decide what we want our lives to be like. And when we decide to put good habits in place in our lives, then we can put our focus towards loving God well and like loving others well. But if we're just so haphazard and, then it's hard to love people well, and it's hard to live a good life.
Or even be nice to yourself
Right.
sometimes,
Yeah, it's true.
let alone other people.
Right?
Oh, too close, too personal.
Yes, it's so true. All right. Well, thank you for joining us, friends. We will have one more episode on Atomic Habits, and then I think we're going to have a fun update episode for you. So we hope
Stay tuned.
for you to listen to us then.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.